Hey everybody. Okay, so just wanted to make a really quick video because I know this will help a lot of people. I figured out how to get rid of wrinkles. This can help with a wrinkly backdrop. This can help with um, literal wrinkles in skin. Although I don't really touch up wrinkles unless people ask me specifically to. This can help with wrinkles in clothing, everything like that. So my issue was I had a wrinkly sheet and I did not have time to iron it. I put it in the dryer just to freshen it up and I took it out and it was like way more wrinkly than what I put it in. So you roll with the punches. So I just took it out, put it down, and I said I'll edit that later. Um, okay, so I'm going to show you. This was the final image. This is what we started with. Lots of editing, but it wasn't too bad. So I already adjusted my exposure and I did that with luminosity mask. I have a luminosity mask action. If you guys want me to talk about that, let me know. I'll make another video. Just to keep this short, I'm going to fast forward through that. So these are my layers for my exposure editing. So I am going to flatten that. And if you hear my kids yelling in the background, I'm a stay-at-home mom of 3, and it is pure anarchy if I'm not right next to them. So don't worry, they are fine. Okay, so I made a layer. I copied the background layer. So now I have a frequency separation action. I can share it if somebody lets me know how to export actions. I have no idea how to save and export an action to share with people. So I won't mind sharing this if you guys just tell me what to do because I have no idea. Okay, so I'm going to run my frequency separation action. And in this action, when I made notes for myself just in case I forgot because I have the worst memory in the world. Okay, and I made another note for myself to know like how to set my brushes. Okay, so when I made this action, I left it like this in case I wanted to change the Gaussian blur, but I rarely ever change it. So I'm just going to automatically rasterize that layer so I can work on it. So this is my color layer. This is my texture layer. This is the layer of, what we're starting with, just so I can kind of toggle back and forth to see before and after. But I'm going to turn that off for now. So I'm going to make this into a group. Open that group. Okay. Start on color layer first. This is always the layer you work on first. Then you move to texture. Okay, color layer. You're going to go with your mixer brush. I usually work with the wet around 9 to 10. And load and mix don't really matter. Just ignore those. Flow, I usually work in the low 20s. Okay. So make sure that it cleans it after every brush stroke and make sure it loads solid colors only. Okay. Hardness all the way down. My size, I just kind of change it how I want. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in. And just for the record, normally I will kind of like retouch all the background area. But just for, the sake of this video to show you guys. Okay. Zoom all the way in. I cannot sing. Ignore that. Okay. Wrinkles. Now. Make sure you are clicked on your color layer. So the reason that we see the wrinkles are because of lighting mostly. You see the highlights on one side. You see the highlights on one side of the wrinkle and you see the shadows on the other side of the wrinkle. That creates texture and dimension and then you can see it. We want to blend that so that it looks smoother. So I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger. I work with my mouse or my stylus. My computer is a 3-in-1 touchscreen. I have a stylus with it and it works if you have like a Wacom tablet, that'll work too. So I'm going to do small brush strokes, especially if you're working on something that has like a lot of different colors. You don't want to do huge long brush strokes because it's just going to mix all those colors. So you want to do small, and like if you're working on skin, you know what I mean? If you do huge long brush strokes, it's just going to like blend their whole face and it's going to look like you colored it with a crayon. Okay. But since this is just one white sheet, I can do long brush strokes. And since the sheet is falling down the mattress, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go down. So I'm just going to go down and like where there's the little wrinkles, I'm going to do like little strokes. And then I'm going to go down to kind of just blend it all. So I'm just going to do one small section. Probably speed this up really quickly. And I'm just doing this quick and dirty. Obviously, you know, when I'm sending this to a client, I'm going to be more meticulous about it. But just to show you guys, I'm just doing this really quickly. And this huge ripple in the sheet right here, I'm not going to go sideways across it because then it'll get rid of that ripple. And then it's just going to look like flat, like fondant on a cake. I don't want it to look like that. I want it to look like it was a sheet falling down. So just be mindful of where you're doing that. See, there's like a shadow in there. I'm just going to define that shadow a little bit more so you can see that ripple, but then nothing else. Because, I mean, I want it to look realistic. I want it to look like a sheet. I don't want to, you know, I don't want her to look like a cake topper. Okay. So just smoothing and lots of patience going through here. And this is why I like to adjust my exposure before I do this, because then there would have been like way more shadowing, and I would have been blending that shadow into the white of the sheet, and it would have kind of made the sheet look a little like dingy. Then I would have had to like adjust that, you know, the exposure even more. It's just a hassle. I just like it. I like adjusting the exposure of my photo first. Okay. So just that little area, and you see how it already looks way smoother around here versus, you know, over here. Smoother, not smooth. Okay. So when you notice that the colors are blending more, that's when you go over to your text. And I would do like I would do everything first. Then you go over to your texture layer. Then that's when you do your heel, not spot heel. You can try patch, but I just like to do healing brush. I think it's a little easier and you have more control. Go to replace, sample current layer, and soft brush, and then, you know, you can adjust your size accordingly. So I usually work with something super small. So go next to it. You want to kind of do near it a little bit where you like the texture. Hit Alt, sample that, then just go down. And boom, it's gone. Like magic. And so I'm just going to go over like the major wrinkles that will kind of distract your eye and draw attention. But all these little wrinkles, that's just more realistic. I mean, no sheet, unless you're like staying in a, you know, hotel and they actually iron the sheets. Sheets are going to have little wrinkles. They're going to have texture. So I like my photos to have that kind of realistic feel. So I'm just going to go over these really quickly just to kind of show you. Sampling, going around. I don't hear my kids screaming. That's a good thing. Okay. Okay, so super smooth, not smooth. You can see the before and after. And then this way, I like to keep this layer here so you can toggle before and after. See what I mean? So we just did that super quickly. And, you know, once you do it a couple times and you get the hang of it, editing a whole photo, it's super easy, super fast. So then once you're done, say like, okay, I was like, I'm done. I like this, how this turned out. Boom, boom, boom. Delete that layer. I like to group those. You really don't have to, but I just like to group them. Then hit Control Alt Shift E. Turn all this into one layer up here. And then make a snapshot. Label that snapshot, you know, wrinkles or whatever. I spelled wrinkles wrong, whatever. Flatten that. Then you can go about your day editing the rest of your photo, and then that's when you end up with this. Boom.